So it's come to that time. Excitingly, tomorrow, the 29th of November, at 2 o'clock, I'm heading out of South Africa for the first time, traveling overseas, and importantly, traveling to a place that seems to be on a lot of people's bucket lists. I'm off to Japan. And I'm only returning on the 8th of December. It's not as long as I would have liked, but we don't always get to choose as much leave as we want, and we don't always get to structure our trips as much as we want, whether it's internationally or locally. So I've done the best I can, and in prepping for it, some of the biggest concerns have been, how do I pack efficiently, because I'm traveling quite a bit inside of Japan, in a way that it's not going to be frustrating dealing with the airlines, and it's also just not going to be frustrating traveling inside of Japan. So the solutions have been a simple new generation duffel bag with the wheels and everything, and then a high-grade multi-purpose backpack that's going to take an astonishing amount. Like most of this actually goes in there. In packing for this, I kind of found out for the first time about these packing cubes, and I'm completely converted to them, because that's a lot of space, but it's obviously got no organization. And the ability to then take these packing cubes and designate them by like a category is really, really useful. This packing cube is carrying all my t-shirts and tops. I've got 2 short sleeve, 2 long sleeve training tops, 3 heavy duty thermals and a pajama top. This pack is carrying all my bottoms. I've got 2 sets of long thermals, 3 sets of long jogger style pants and pajamas. It's also got some camera cleaning kit and a travel towel. And then this one's all the personals, the socks, underwear and stuff like that. And then the other one inside there carries all the more heavy duty winter wear, the balaclava, the thick gloves, the bikini, that kind of stuff. I'm not generally someone who suffers from the cold, but it is currently minus 10 in some places. So I'm not going to stick to that claim until I get through that without freezing. So when packing this, it's quite nice to be able to just take these items, biggest one at the bottom, or heaviest one actually, second one, third one, tuck them all in. And when you lift the bag, you can see they leave you this nice space because it's more organized. This I will need obviously in the plane, but for now it can just shove right in there. With that is going a set of sunglasses in a heavy duty case, and I've kindly been loaned a set of high-grade ski goggles because for the first time ever, I might also try skiing, though that depends on whether or not we can get a booking still. So all of that very quickly disappears into the bag, zip it all up, and of course, it's got a nice little lock, because we just don't want to risk that. And that's the first bag done. And although it looks like a lot of stuff has disappeared, clothing folds up small. Here comes all the awkward stuff to pack. So, given my proclivity for photography, video and things, my gimbal's currently filming this, I've got a lot of stuff that tends to weigh. Camera, 2 lenses in there, a third lens over here, the gimbal's case, there's 2 GoPros over here, there's a tablet, there's a laptop, mouse, some other bits and bobs. So, how best to pack this? I ended up buying a new bag for purposes of this trip. So, our best way is to just lock and load it, as frankly Osprey intended us to. The laptop and tablet easily come down the back here with this clamshell. There's this nice zipper pocket, which I found is capable of holding all the nitty-gritty little electronics quite neatly, meaning they don't just get piled. That one goes separately. I'm carrying 3 phone chargers for the purpose of this trip, and that's because most of my tech charges on USB-C, and I'm using it quite frequently. Ideally, I don't want to be blocked by having a single charger that then gets locked in charging a GoPro, when I also need it to, say, charge my gimbal, say, replenish a power bank, or do any of these things. I'm carrying an excessive number of USB-C cables because I really just don't want to have a problem with any of those getting damaged, but they weigh very, very little. That is a card reader going in. This is my battery charger for my camera, and this is a hard drive. So, back clamshell is not supposed to take a lot. You can see it's actually quite a thin compartment, but it's well padded. So we take that and zip it all up. And that compartment is done. The next compartment is the one that surprises me a lot in terms of packing for this trip, because it just seems to absolutely swallow all of this gear. The laptops and things like that, they're fairly easy to pack because they're flat. And therefore they tend to tuck away nicely if the bag's well designed and just disappear. But that's a lot of space. Unfortunately, that's a lot of bulky gear. And what surprises me with this is here goes the camera in a separate travel bag because I'm not risking my gear. This is the toiletries pack. That's going to go over here. Straight down, giving it a bit of a padded layer. On top of that, I've got my additional lens. This is probably my nicest lens, so it's in a pretty decent travel case. And then above that, my personal medical kit. This contains things like my chronic medication, small bits and bobs. You get to the point now where you need to see how much space is left over, so it's a good idea to zip up a little bit. And there's a decent chunk, but it's not something you want to overload. So here go the two GoPros and their various little pieces. Ironically, the GoPros in a waterproof bag, but it's more about the organization. And then my down jacket, because I want it accessible and not buried in my clothing bag. There's another compartment full. If we look into this one then, a lot of the travel videos I watched heavily recommended having a pen, just in case an immigration place doesn't have. Camera charger goes in there. Battery bank comes in here. This nifty little pocket is going to hold my passport, which is sitting in a little passport wallet. I've got my South African one here, got my Italian one here. Then I've got my airline tickets. I've got my accommodation bookings, my medical script for my chronic medication, and my travel insurance. So I'm able to keep all of that together, nice and neat, and in a compartment that is significantly harder for someone to get to casually. This is obviously my gimbal's case. Like I said, it's for me right now, but for the purposes of this video test, it can come in here and tuck in. Actually, make a slight adjustment because I put it in the wrong way around. I like it to go that way because it pushes just a little bit further down and packs in nicely. And you can start to see we are running out of gear from what was here. I've got a heavy duty set of gloves in there, but given the weather, I'm going to tuck a light set here. I have another travel towel, which I'm going to tuck on the side pocket. Wallet will be on me. My phone, which is filming, will be on me. Got my little mouse. This I actually want to put in the clamshell. At the back here. It's quite a small device, so you can just tuck it in there next to the tablet. There's no risk of them breaking. Seals up quite nicely. I've then got the travel plug. This is definitely going to live where I can get to it easily. And we're nearly done. My prescription glasses, which can come here. And that closes. Into this little compartment, which is hidden here. It's not very big, but a couple packets of tissues, because if you're like me, you suffer severely from things like hay fever. It's a good idea to have them to point. My heavy duty power brick, it's 120 watt charging. My phone does charge at that full speed, as does some of my gear like my laptop. So nice to have that and to be able to charge rapidly. It'll take the phone to full in something like 16 minutes, so that's very useful. Set of headphones, quick access USB-C, some lip balm, and a luggage scale in case I have any concerns. much that bag. It has its compression pack, so just set that up there. And clip it here, clip it here. This is just a separate rain cover. This bag model does not feature that, because it's not a full hiking pack. I think it's probably the only failure of this bag that I've seen. But it was 200 grand, and it fits in the compartment, so not particularly fussed. There's another lock which is due for that bag. And then those are my shoes for the entire trip. A set of heavy duty water, and therefore theoretically snowproof, hiking boots. Tempted to take a set of like semi-slops, just in case I want to be able to change through them. Then obviously my wallet. Theoretically, all packed and ready to go.